is our new partner integrations. I'd like to start first with Tekion. So we feel like Tekion is onto really big things. They think about integration differently. They care about real time. We've gotten the privilege of working with Pedram, who's in the room. He's going to come up here in a moment, and Sanjay and Jay at their executive team, and we're really impressed with what they're doing. I know there's some of you in the room that are in Tekion, and I want to invite Pedram to come up and share some words.
Good morning, everybody. Awesome. What an exciting pack of product stuff that you got coming up. So really excited to be here. Thanks for having us, and thanks to all the partners that we have in the room as well. So yeah, it's been awesome watching the growth of Danny. I was kind of observing and watching, who's going after the inventory management space, and I've been kind of watching Danny and the company here really grow and birth. And certainly for us and myself, coming from retail, I lean on a lot of people to tell me this is a company you need to go follow. And so that's kind of where it all started. And so we thought, okay, this is a company that we really need to really watch and make sure that we're at the cusp of innovation, and as you mentioned, integration as well. So I just want to take a couple minutes. I know, of course, that a lot of people, we get questions about how does Tekion kind of continue to partner with the ecosystem. Sometimes there's this myth that we want to build everything, and certainly we want to encourage a space of innovation, but at the same time, it's about integration. So I'll touch a little bit lightly quickly on some things that we think are relevant for the folks that are in this room without boring everybody. At the end of it, we think there's really two things that I want to highlight on this slide that I think is important. On the left, we talk a lot about, what is integration about. I think this is an important element for anybody or any technology stack that you got. We just wanted to kind of highlight, the things that Danny just touched on. As we see the development of more and more technology, we just want to make sure that we're doing a really good job of delivering things like time. So we're near real time on the integration layer. The technology we use, not to get technical, but certainly the REST API elements and webhooks, these are really important to making sure all the agents, for example, that everybody's going to continue to develop are kind of working with the best data. And we'll talk a little bit about data coverage, because that's a really big piece. Just to kind of quickly touch 10 seconds on the data wars that are starting to happen right now, is everyone's starting to realize, if the agentic flow is going to be the future, we really need to make sure we have good synthesized data. So our data coverage is rather wide. And of course, we have write-back technologies as well. So to kind of summarize that, real time for real flow, and ultimately no data ransom. I think everybody in the room kind of knows what that's about. But and then on the right side, so let's just say, for example, all these companies, everyone says, hey, look, we do the same thing. We've got excellent real-time integrations. We use REST technology. What we all know, and really the ethos of what Tekion hopefully delivers for everybody, is the fact that we have what we call the connected spine. So the connected spine, as I was listening to the presentation, we were talking about all these different disparate data points that has created a bit of a challenge for many things. So if you look on the left, that's what kind of a fragmented technology stack looks like. On the right, where we think this is a really powerful partnership between the companies, is as VINCUE continues to really bring that trade intelligence, we also can kind of create what we call that kind of connected spine. So things like the CRM, the service suite, the inventory data, it's all connected, obviously, all the way through to the customer database. So these are, I think, relevant things, and this is why I thought the pairing of the companies were so powerful. And then kind of maybe bringing that all the way around, when you really kind of connect this one system and one experience, one of the things that I think that you touched on, and, I came from retail automotive myself. I certainly didn't get to 5%, Brian, so kudos as far as what you're doing in the service acquisition. It was always this really, you'd put the salesperson in the drive who sold the least number of cars. That was like the punishment, right? So that was like stage one of what we did with service drive acquisition. I think some of you may still be doing that, by the way. So, but one of the things we thought is that, one thing that is very helpful to kind of give you some inspiration of how we can leverage the trade intelligence that VINCUE brings for us is, of course, we touch the customer in many different ways. So we have a sales concierge feature, which, of course, is where we have the ability to deliver data, whether we're desking deals, remotely, in-store, offline, et cetera. the ability to make sure that the the trade intelligence data is put in there is really powerful. In the service world, I think it's even more powerful because just like you go into a service drive, things that you usually want is the status update of your vehicle. So to make sure there's like this connected flow, when the guest receives an update maybe on their repair order, what an incredible time to also insert information like, hey, by the way, we spotted your vehicle. We think that this is a vehicle that really matches our inventory. And it's really into that flow. So I thought to kind of highlight a little bit about how that's really integrated. And I hope this gives everyone some inspiration in the room. How do you compete with the future, right? Because the integration has to not only be smooth internally, but it has to be smooth externally to the customer base as well. So these are some things that I think we're doing. We're very excited to be partnering with you, Danny. Incredible things that you guys are doing at the company, and we really look forward to the partnership.
Thank you. Thanks, man.